What is going on, everybody? Welcome back. MTG here with another episode. If you're new to the channel, hi there. So Samsung Galaxy S24 Ultra, 1 month later, I have some thoughts about it, and I'm going to start things off with design. I have come to love this design, and it's been the same design since the S22 Ultra with just refinements year over year. And this year we're getting a titanium build on the side frames, a flat display, and also anti-reflective coated display as well. 2600 nits of max peak brightness. These were much needed upgrades that are now present on the Samsung Galaxy S24 Ultra. And I gotta say, I absolutely love this flat display. I'm really happy that Samsung has ditched the curves on their S series device. Even though it was becoming very minimal, it still was like, come on, it's getting annoying. So at least for me, some do like the curved displays. For me, I like having a flat display, and we got it here. But I also like the addition of this anti-reflective display. Now, it's not like 100% anti-reflective, but it's much better than its predecessor. It's much better than if you put it side to side against like the iPhone 15 Pro Max. You really do see how useful it is, especially when you're using it outdoors as well. And that also adds the max peak brightness. Like I just came back from a trip from Istanbul, and I am really happy that I took this phone with me, using it outdoors under the sun with the peak brightness, the anti-reflective display. I had no issues viewing content on my phone, whereas people next to me, well, they did. So I'm just really happy with this, and I hope that Samsung brings this type of anti-reflective display and max peak brightness to other devices as well. And I'm sure that we're going to see this type of stuff come to other manufacturers and their phones as well. But I gotta say, this design is great, boxier than ever, and it's just good. S Pen, yeah, I haven't used in the past month. I probably used it maybe once to just sign something, but other than that, that's really it. If you like this boxy design, then you're gonna like the Samsung Galaxy S24 Ultra. Heading into performance, how has it held up in the past month? It's been really well. Snapdragon 8 Gen 3 is really smooth, fast, as you would expect it to be. I haven't had the phone heat up once at all. It has a nearly 2 times of a larger vapor chamber, which does also help with heat dissipation. And like I said, I haven't had the phone heat up at all, and I play a lot of Clash of Clans, and I do play Call of Duty Mobile. I watch lots of YouTube videos. No issues with any of this whatsoever. The 12 gigs of RAM paired with my 512 gigs of storage with this, because I got a pre-order deal, double the storage at no extra cost, has been really beneficial. I have extra storage that I can always use, and I don't need to worry about the phone not having storage. 512 gigs of storage for me is perfectly fine. One UI 6.1 is as clean as ever, and it's become my old favorite, my OEM skin by far, even better than OnePlus's Oxygen OS, and even in some cases Pixel UI. I don't know, I just really feel at home. Maybe it's because I've gotten used to using Samsung devices for so long, but I just feel at home when I'm using One UI. And I gotta say, I can't wait for 7 years of software updates to see how long this will really last. And let me know in the comments down below if you want to see a 7 years later of this device. But that's something that Samsung is promising, 7 years of software updates. So that is a huge plus. It's an initiative to kind of push people to hold on to their phones even longer. And I'm all for that. Spending $1,300 to buy a new phone every year is definitely not great. But even trading in your phone and getting it for $500-600, that's a lot of money. And if you buy a new phone every 2-3 years, not every year, but every 2-3 years, it still does add up. But 1 month later, it has had no issues, no hiccups in the performance department. Software has been smooth as ever. Yes, I haven't discussed or talked about any of these Galaxy AI features, because I'll be honest, other than really the circle to search, I haven't really used any of them. And that's really it, circle to search. And it's not like I use circle to search all the time either. I don't really use that as often. Maybe it's because I just haven't been able to find a way to implement it in my workflow or just in my daily use. But yes, other than Circle to Search, haven't really used any of those other AI features. But it's good to know that this device has them, and those Galaxy AI features will be coming to older Samsung models too. Now, camera is one of the most important things, I guess, right now in a smartphone in general. For me, though, it's really not like a top priority, but it's also a priority. It's not the top, but it's still there. 200 megapixel camera right here, this main camera is great, especially if you want more detailed shots. Again, I am really happy that I took this with me on my trip to Istanbul. 100x zoom has been really great. We went on a couple different like tours around the city, and we wanted to like kind of read some signs that were really far away, and the only way to read it was if I used 5x, 10x, 30x, and even 100x zoom, and it has come in real handy when using it from far away. The daily photos, though, they're really vibrant, and you really can't go wrong with this, whether it's for photos and for videos. I can easily recommend this device. While I was on tour, there were people with me that were using the Galaxy S23 Ultra, and they were really happy with their device. Granted, we discussed about S24 Ultra, and it looks like they're not going to upgrade, mainly because, I mean, I wouldn't recommend upgrading from S23 to an S24 Ultra either. It's not worth the upgrade, but Samsung has done a really great job because they're really happy with the S23 Ultra, and who knows what's going to come with the S25 Ultra. Nonetheless, though, you can't go wrong with the cameras. It hasn't disappointed me in the past month. Another thing that hasn't disappointed me is the battery life. We get the same milliamp hours, 5,000 from its predecessor, and as the predecessor before that, the S22 Ultra, 45 wire charging. And I've noticed that it charges to about full in about an hour, give or take. And here's the thing, I'm ending my day with about 50% and 7 to 8 hours of screen on time. And I also don't need to charge it overnight. And it can still last me well into the afternoon of the next day. But most times, like, I won't charge at night. I'll wake up in the morning. First thing is I'll plug it and charge it. By the time I leave the house, the phone will be at 100%. I do wake up a little earlier, to get ready and to take my time. And by the time I leave the house, it's at 100%. So battery life has been really good with this. And during my trip, there were times where I didn't have my charger with me, and I was using my wireless charger, my wireless power bank, magnetic, MagSafe power bank, whatever you want to call it. There's so many names nowadays, for my iPhone 13 mini, and this was still just flying through with the battery life. I didn't need to worry about charging this device. That's how good the battery life is. And I said the same thing about the S23 Ultra. It's no different with the S24 Ultra. So yeah, if you're looking for a phone with great battery life, can't go wrong with the Samsung Galaxy S24 Ultra. And that's going to lead me into price, which I see as a very important factor for many consumers when they want to purchase a smartphone. When you tell them $1,300 is the starting price, that is a lot, and that's a 100% increase from its predecessor. How has that held up? The pricing has held up in the past month. Here's the thing. I wouldn't pick it up at $1,300. And in the past month, I haven't seen too many sales, but Samsung is known to have lots of sales for their devices. And like I said, I wouldn't recommend picking this up as retail price of $1,300. Definitely be on the lookout. I'll be leaving links in the description down below and on my community page from time to time on awesome deals of the Samsung Galaxy S24 Ultra, as well as its little brothers, the S24 Plus and the Samsung Galaxy S24. You'll probably find it for like $11.99, like $200, maybe even $300 off, $9.99 given at some point of the year. And even if you do pick this up at the end of 2024, I still think you're picking up one of the best devices to come out in 2024. And yes, I know at the time of this recording, there's still like 9 months left from March to December. There's still 9 months left, and we have a lot of smartphones that are going to come out. But it's a really good competition. You're going to have to compete with the S24 Ultra. So I can easily recommend it. Just not at the starting price of $1,300, knowing that there will be a bunch of sales and discounts happening with this phone. But here are my final thoughts. It's a great upgrade, and I can easily recommend it for those who don't have the S23 Ultra. And usually what happens is when you have the when you have the latest device and the next one comes out, you take a look at it and ask, well, is it worth the upgrade? Should I upgrade to the latest and greatest? I don't think it's worth upgrading if you have the S23 Ultra, but other than that, if you have maybe even the S22 Ultra or S21, it's going to be a really solid upgrade. And I strongly believe that this may be one of the best smartphones to come out in 2024, hands down. And like I said, the year's not even over. We're still at the start of the year, but this nails a lot of pillars of what a great smartphone is, with great battery life, a great build and design, great performance and software, and a great camera. You really can't go wrong with the S24 Ultra. So yeah, I'm going to be using this for a little while longer while I am testing out other devices. I'll probably end up coming back to the S24 Ultra until I find a device to replace it. So yeah, S24 Ultra. It's a great device. 1 month later, it's been nailing everything I throw at it. I hope you guys did enjoy this video. If you did, be sure to smash that like button, comment down below, and best of all, share this video because it really does help out the channel a lot. Will help push my content out to more people. And definitely be sure to check out my latest wallpaper pack. It's called Alpinism. I'll be leaving a link in the description down below. And also my merchandise I have right here, desk mat. I have a water bottle, 32 ounce. It's great. It comes in really useful when I take it to work. I have a coffee mug. I have sweatshirts, sweaters, you name it. We got it. Links in the description down below. That's been it for me. I'll catch you guys in the next episode.